solutions anyway. Which one? Okay, so for g of x, 2x divided by x plus 3. So the correct sequence of steps, I have to write the difference quotient. I have to write f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. I have to write this. The next step, equal symbol, I have to write 2 x plus h over x plus h plus 3 minus 2x over x plus 3 divided by h. Everyone in agreement with this? Is it me? Am I deaf or nobody's saying anything?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, at this point, we have to find the least common denominator. Can anyone volunteer the least common denominator?
X plus h plus 3 times x plus 3.
Right, these two have nothing in common. So they are two different factors, and we have to write them side by side. X plus 3, x plus h plus 3. Because we multiply the denominator by x plus 3, what do we need to multiply the numerator by?
X plus 3.
Good. And the same thing here, if we multiply x plus 3 by x plus h plus 3, what we multiply the numerator by? I'm sorry, forgive me. I am in class. I'll call you back.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye. My apologies. Yes, for x plus h plus 3. The reason, my apologies, the reason I leave the phone on, and normally in a normal classroom I would not, is because one of my students right now is missing. We're supposed to be 15 plus 1. 15 you and 1 me. And one is missing, so maybe he, she cannot get in. That's why. Okay, so at this point, we need to multiply these two. And we need to multiply these two. I would like to, one option would have been to factor out the 2 and put it in front and not worry about it. But since I didn't do it from the very beginning, I'll have to keep it in. So x times x multiplied by 2. 2x squared. X times h, but multiplied by 2, plus 2xh, plus 3 multiplied by x, and then by 2, 6x. 3 multiplied by h, but also by 2. So this is plus 6h. Remember, two things must happen. So now, this is easier. Negative 2x times x. Negative 2x times h. Negative 2x times 3. Any questions so far? Anyone? All terms without h must go away. If they don't, I'm in trouble. The 2x squared with a negative 2x squared gone. The 6x with a negative 6x gone. And look, this is a bonus. The 2xh with a negative 2xh, which it didn't bother me, but they're gone as well. H is h over 1. Anything is over 1. So this is a fraction now. 6h over this divided by h over 1. So I have to copy the top. 6h over x plus 3, x plus h plus 3. And because I'm dividing by a fraction, I have to multiply by the multiplicative inverse. And this is when and why h is gone. And this is the final simplified form. And you'll see what happens next with this. Any questions? Is there anything else you would like to go back to? Or we go back to compound interest?
I had a general question.
Sure, please.
Yeah, so this material is from chapter R, right?
Yes.
Okay, so like to make sure we're keeping track with the MyLabs Plus, we should finish chapter R, like all of it. By
I
this
have
month?
not. I will. Very good question. Perfect. Let me. It's difficult for me to talk and while you cannot even see me. So at the end of each section that I finish, I will say, please, now we're done with this. Please work on my lab math. I haven't said that yet for anything.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure.
Yes. So I haven't really finished anything. I presented a lot of stuff, a lot of review. It's a lot from already from chapter R, but I haven't really finished anything to say to you. We finished R.1. You can start working on it. I promise every time unless I forget, I promise every time I finish a section, I will say, now we're finished with this section. Please start working so that next time you can ask questions.
Okay.
Thank you for a question. Okay, where am I here? I'm here. Okay, good. So this is the final simplified form for this particular function. Those two things that we talked about happened. All terms at the top, up here, all terms without age are gone. Bonus, two terms with age, even better, they're gone too. And age was canceled or simplified with an age factor from the top. Perfect. Anything else? Okay, we're back to compound interest. So now I'm hoping to be able to finish up an entire problem from the beginning till the end. Okay, so I already prepared. Let me share my screen. I think I am. Oh, what is going on here? I thought I had. I thought I had the book up here already. Oh, I do have it. It's right here. Sorry, I don't know why that message was there. Okay, so we're looking at R.1. So moving forward, I will highly recommend always have the multimedia library brought up, because I am very happy when students choose problems as well, not just I look and say, okay, let's do this or that. So I thought that this was maybe that was that error message. Don't give me an error message, please. It's working very hard. Okay, I'm not going to waste the time. So let's take a look at problem 32. And this is on page 11. I'm hoping that you have that. And I'm going to stop sharing because it's doing something and not what I want. Okay, so I'd like to look at 32 on page 11. And we have Kim's are depositing $1,000 in a fund. So this is $1,000. And at 5%. And how much is the investment worth, rounded to the nearest cent? We always do that with money at the end of 4 years. Okay. And if the interest is compounded. So now I'm writing the options. So part A, annually. Part B, semi-annually. Quarterly, C. D, daily. And they're saying to us to use 365 days. And hourly. Okay, so let's take it slowly. We do have the formula. I will give you the model, but we already know the formula from last time. The accumulated value equals the principal, 1 plus R, the annual interest rate, divided by the number of times we compound the interest per year, and N times T. And now we have to identify each quantity given to us. So who would like, let's say Noor, can you tell us what is P in this problem?
P is the principal amount that we're going to
Excellent. So this is
invest
1,000.
or whatever.
Perfect. 1 plus. Let's say Alex, can you tell us what is the annual interest rate?
The interest in this case 5.
Yes, but we have to write it as a decimal number.
0.05.
Okay. N, let's identify N in each situation. Okay. What is N for annually?
1.
Very good. What is N for semi-annually? 2. What is N for quarterly? How many quarters?
4.
Okay. What is N for daily? So N equals 365. And I have no idea how many hours, but we have to multiply 365 multiplied by 24 hours in a day. Now, what I would like to do, I don't want to repeat the process 5 times. So as you know, or as you see here, this is the only number that changes. And the power N, but the number of years is 4. So this number in part A, you gave it to me 1. This number in part B will be 2, and so on and so forth. What I would like to do next is enter the function, enter this function in TI 84, 83, whatever you have. So let's do that together. In which I don't have N, the calculator does not give me N, I will put X. Just in the calculator, but it's N. The calculator does not use N. Okay, so here it was. I guess somehow it gives me this error. I cannot open the book for whatever reason to show you directly. I'm not sure why. So I have to check that. Okay, so we go to Y equals. Clear whatever you have. And we will enter 1,000, parentheses, 1 plus 0.05, which is the interest rate. Stop me if you have questions or you fall behind or anything. Divided by, it's our X. This is the key for all variables, X. Close the parenthesis, put the caret for the power. You will soon learn that I love parentheses, and I put parentheses everywhere. So for several reasons, because this is a newer calculator, you may have an older calculator, then you have to use parentheses. Okay, so it's 4x. That's what we have in the formula. The next step I would like, is everyone with me? The next step I would like to do is go to second and table set and make sure that the independent variable is in ask mode, not the dependent, just the independent. So second and table set. Make sure that the independent is in the ask mode, because only now we go to second and table and we can put in the numbers we want. What was the first number?
1.
Excellent. Well done. So in 4 years, if the interest is compounded once, in 4 years, from $1,000, we will end up having, and you should scroll to the right to get the entire number. You have to highlight it to see the exact number. So 1215.51. Okay, go back now to X variable. What is the next number? 2, and then 4, and then 365, and then 365 multiplied by 24.
What did you click to get to the table? Right here.
Second and table. Second and table.
Okay.
Please highlight the number that you are looking at just to make sure that these are the correct, because it will only give you one digit, and when we talk about cents, we have to have two. So I'm copying now, and I will just write for n equals 1, a equals 1215.51 with a dollar sign in front. For n equals 2, scroll down, dollar sign 1219.40. With n equals 4, a equals, go down 1, a equals 1219.89. Go down 1 for n equals, what was it, 365, right? A equals 1221.39. And the last one, for n equals 8,760, A was 1221.40. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, here I would like to also work on one other type of problem about the annual yield. So let's see what annual yield represents. Any questions one more time? So if interest is compounded n times a year, then the actual interest rate is bigger. If we are, let me switch again so you can see me. So if we borrow money and the interest is compounded, we end up paying a higher interest rate. If we get interest for money we deposit and the interest is compounded, then we end up getting more money, slightly more money for a higher annual yield. So this is what the annual yield represents. So I'm going to go back to, and here is the formula. Again, you do not have to memorize it. So this is 1 plus the annual interest rate, the number of times it's compounded, of course, pretty similar, raised to the number of times it's compounded, minus 1. So I would like to look at a problem like that, and also a problem with annuity, because you will have to look at problems with an annuity in your homework. Okay, so let's calculate the annual interest, the annual yield. So the annual interest rate is, so R is given to us as 5.3%. I'm looking at problem 41 on page 12, so you know where I got it from. Compounded monthly. If it's monthly, how much is N for monthly?
12.
Very good. So all we have to do is carefully put the numbers in the formula. That's all we need to do. And let's calculate with the calculator, of course. So then I have Y equals 1 plus 0.053 divided by 12, everything raised to power 12, and minus 1. And this will be the actual annual yield. So I'm going to switch now so you can see what I'm doing. Unfortunately, I cannot record that. I promise not to record the screen. So please be careful and pay attention to what I'm doing here with my on this device, because I can't record. I mean, I can, but I will not